Welcome to What Self-Care Looks Like. I'm your host, Brittany Elliott. It may be hard to hear, but self-care is not spa days, a weekend getaway, or brunch with your bestie. True self-care is the practice of protecting your well-being and happiness, and it lives within your daily routine. I'm a self-care and mom life coach here to help you prioritize your needs and practice self-care in a meaningful way so you can reclaim joy in your motherhood experience. Let's get back to you. Hello. Welcome back to What Self-Care Looks Like. I'm Brittany Elliott. I'm the author of the book, What Self-Care Looks Like, which is a practical guide for moms who are looking to rediscover their identity and reclaim joy in their motherhood experience. I'm looking forward to this conversation today for our little chat. It's all about how you can rediscover your identity after you have kids, which is just a really important piece to reclaiming joy in your motherhood experience, because I talk to a lot of women who feel like they've completely lost themselves in motherhood and don't really know how to get back to themselves exactly, how that would look, or how they would even do it. And being lost in motherhood is different from you having children, you loving the motherhood experience, and you feel like your personality is wrapped up in motherhood. That is something completely different from actually losing yourself in motherhood. When I say losing yourself in motherhood, it's you no longer knowing who you are. It's you having this how did I get here moment after changing a bunch of diapers, running kids around all day, just really anticipating and fulfilling the needs of your children and everyone really in your household. And then you get to the end of the day and you're like, how did I get here? Who am I? What do I even like? Or you get this great time where your husband takes, the kids out for some hours and you have some time to yourself and you're like, I have no idea what I want to do with this time. I don't know what I like, what I don't like. And by the time you figure out something to do, everyone's coming back home and the moment's gone. So today I'm going to talk about how you can rediscover your identity. And I will tell you that it does take both time and energy. This process requires work, as all of them do. Even just your self-care journey in general. Self-care is the practice of protecting your well-being and happiness, and it should be done daily. I am of the opinion that it should be done daily, especially because true self-care is not spa days, mani-pedis, brunch, girls' trips. It's really not that. At the core, it's really simple activities that can be done really in 5 minutes or less, even that impact your social wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, and or intellectual wellness. All of those wellness points work together to help us feel the most whole as mothers. So we really every day need to be doing something that is going to positively impact one of those wellness points. There are 5 of them. So you could say, okay, I'm going to commit to my self-care at least 5 days out of the week. And then every day you choose an activity that would fulfill one wellness point. Or what I would like to do is to focus on one first and really get into a habit of doing that activity. For example, let's say it's working out. And let's get specific. Let's say it's walking every day for 5 to 10 minutes. That would be under your physical wellness bucket. After you do that for a week or two, maybe you move it up from 5 to 10 minutes to 15, 20 minutes, and you're doing that consistently. Now that is just part of your everyday routine. Now you can add on something for your social wellness. So you can add somebody to that walk with you. So now you're doing physical and social wellness in one real activity. Or you can start adding in meditation or daily prayer, which would impact your spiritual wellness. So next season, in season 20, I'm going to break down more of this, going chapter by chapter in my book to really expand upon the concepts there. This is one of them that is in the book. There are 7 chapters in the book. I run my podcast episodes in 7 episode seasons. So it's going to line up pretty nicely, and it's not just going to be a regurgitation of the book at all. I'm actually not going to be reading. I'm just going to be taking a deeper dive into each chapter. So I encourage you to buy the book and, read it entirely before next season, or just go chapter by chapter each week. The book is short, not too long of a read. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see, or watching video, 70 pages. I get straight to the point because you're a mom and you're busy, and I get it, and all this information is important. So let's tackle this time, energy, perhaps disparity when it comes to rediscovering your identity. So you do need a little bit of time to set aside and really listen to your thoughts. And a really good way to brain dump what's going on in the beautiful brain of yours is to journal. You can buy a physical journal. You can journal in an app on your phone. You can just get a notebook to journal in. You can journal in just a notes app of your phone. But really diving into asking yourself, how do I feel? What do I need? What would I like to do? What did I used to like to do prior to becoming a mom? Because this being lost in motherhood is really this detachment of you have lost your sense of self. So you don't really know where you end and mothering begins. So for me, it's like I don't know where Brittany, the things that Brittany likes to do, the ways that Brittany would like to use her time, where those have ended and where all of that has gotten filled in with the needs of Bristol, who is my daughter, or the needs of my husband, or the needs of things in the household. And it's almost like everything you do is for them, which on one hand, like, nice, cool, fun, great mothering. But on the other hand, there's nothing left for you. And I believe that motherhood is not about being a martyr or sacrificing yourself so that you can be good at it. You and your personality and who you are, you need that to be woven into your motherhood experience, because that's how you parent. That's how you raise a human. They need to see you as you, this person who is their mother, not just you're my mother slash my maid slash my laundry attendant slash um my Uber driver type thing. So it builds respect in the relationship too. Because remember, motherhood is 3 parts. It's a relationship, it's a role, and it's a responsibility. And the relationship part is very important. And for the first many years of it, it's very much a giving, like a one-sided relationship, because, your kid needs you to do a lot of things for them. But it's still a relationship that you are building. And you don't want to feel like your child is a burden, right? You want to have a relationship with them that you can raise them, discipline them through, teach them, help them grow through it. But when they leave the house, you don't want to feel like, oh, my whole existence was for them, and now I don't know what to do. And I do coach moms. I do some very limited these days, one-on-one coaching. And I'm also a mom and a human, and I have friends who are moms, and we talk about this a lot, about just running on empty. You get to the end of the day and you would really like to do something for yourself, and you're drained from doing for everyone else. And when will that end? Where's the line? I've talked to a lot of my friends' moms who straight up said, I wish I would have done some of this stuff that you talk about. I wish there was like a you back then, somewhere you can go to just even get a little bit of, me time proactively, because their kids grow up, go on and, build families for themselves. And then the mom is just like, I don't know what to do now. Like my whole life was around making sure the kids had everything that they needed, and now it's like I'm rebuilding and relearning who I am. But if you never lose that part of you and you just grow through the evolution of yourself through the lens of your motherhood experience as well, you won't have that so much because you'll say, "Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do with my time. I know exactly how I would like to spend um, my energy." And you'll see that there are going to be opportunities to do even more of that because the kids are outside of their house. So, first, let's talk about this time piece. So, there's only 24 hours in a day, right? And maybe you work, maybe you have a long commute. There's your shift is different. So, there are some things in our day that are just they're just blocked. That's where we have to be. That's what we have to do during the day. And then if you have an infant or a child that's maybe 0 to 2 years old, there are things going on at night. So maybe you're not having as much sleep. So it's not about how can I get more time? It's about what can I do with the time that I have. And that's why I'm always saying find 5 minute activities. 5 minutes seems like when you're running around scrambling, it's like, no, I don't have 5 minutes to make this call or do this thing. But 5 minutes is like just enough of the thing that you need to just, if you can sit down and drink your coffee while it's hot, just while you're sitting on the porch, like maybe you're listening to music or just listening to the birds. Like that could be the reset like that you needed to be like, hey, me, let me honor myself. You're doing a good job. To just go out and tackle the day. It's like a deep breath along with the exhale. You know, got to remember to do the exhale. So that's how we're tackling time. On the energy front, you do need some energy for this. And a lot of times we are running at an energy deficit. The way you combat the energy deficit is to be mindful that I don't care what you believe about yourself and how much you can do on running on fumes, you need to prioritize your rest and you really need to prioritize your sleep, which means you need to maximize how much you can get. So if your work schedule, your life schedule, and all that, you can get 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep. You need to go to sleep as soon as you're able to, not stay up late so you can do any cleaning, not stay up late so that you can, watch a show real quick because you're trying to grasp at straws to get this me time in. That's really not real me time. You're looking at a screen, you're getting all like activated, and then you're not able to go to sleep. So then your sleep is not a good sleep anyway, and then you're waking up right at the top of the morning. If you only know that you can get 4 hours of sleep, you need to be all about, I'm getting my 4 hours of sleep. When your kids are younger, sleep is a little more sporadic. I get it. My daughter is 7 now, but I remember that. So you just have to be mindful and maximize that time. And you have to be super intentional about this. Rediscovering yourself, you are going to be lost until you right the ship. If you keep doing the same things that you've been doing, you're never going to start feeling like you again. And it's really not so much about feeling like yourself, but it's really accepting the change and evolving, riding with the evolution of it, but not getting lost in it. Not just saying, okay, I'm going to ride this wave of chaos and you having no identity, no interests, um, no passions or anything at all. And I'm going to go through a couple of prompts that will help you really be thinking more about who you used to be and as far as your identity and what you like to do, and still be in an evolutionary mode and growing through motherhood. So we're talking about time, energy, sleeping, prioritizing rest, not overdoing it. Like setting boundaries with your kid is helpful. I know women who every time their child asks them to do something, they're up and running and doing it. There's nowhere in motherhood that says we have to give our kids every single thing that they want right here in the minute that they want it. Our kids get to an age where one, they'll start to be able to do it by themselves, but two, even if they're young, they still can wait. They still have a capacity to wait at a certain point. Like your toddler can wait. I'm hungry. That doesn't mean you have to get up and run and do things right now for them. And hopefully, you've listened to past episode too about how to prep things and have like little snacks and meals and things like that already prepped. So there's quick things that you can get that aren't going to be laborious, where you're getting up and you're doing something for your kid that involves you using a lot of energy. But also if you're having rest time and you're weaving rest into your days, your children when they're younger, they can rest with you as well, or you can give them things that they can do quietly, like slightly independently. Even when Bristol was a lot younger, I still could weave in rest time. Like even when she was 2 years old, I could weave in some rest time. Then we used to do like naps, like we called it family, like Elliott family nap time. We all just get in the bed together and nap. Even if she wouldn't sleep, she just liked being close to us. So even if I didn't fall asleep, it was nice to just rest. So she got into a habit of stopping all the movement and just chilling and sitting in that. So that's how we can basically conserve our energy, is not being on go 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 all the time, and also doing the simple things like making sure you're staying hydrated, take your vitamins, eat nutritious meals. We get a lot of our energy from food, sunlight, um, water, staying hydrated, and from movement and exercise. So if you're not in a full blown, like I can't do my full blown fitness routine right now because I'm building myself up, you still need to be nourishing yourself. You will have a lot more energy if you're sitting down and actually eating meals that nourish you. They will give you the energy that you need to move forward. If you're a coffee drinker, you can think about maybe switching to tea instead of coffee, because you'll still get caffeine, but you won't get kind of that coffee crash after. So be mindful of that too. Hey, it's Brittany here, your host of the show, and I'd like to invite you to grab your copy of my book, What Self-Care Looks Like. It's the roadmap for working moms who want to prioritize their self-care and rediscover the joy in their motherhood experience. It's a must-read for any mom who has felt lost, unseen, or unsure along her motherhood journey. Buy it today at www.whatselfcarelooks.com. Here are a couple of prompts that I want you to write out the answer to, because it's going to help you kind of chart your path back to you and rediscovering your identity. So think about, and these are all like before you had kids, before you became a mom, how did you like to spend your time? Was it reading, writing, working out, swimming? Do you like solo quiet time? Write down what that was. If it was several things, list them all out on a piece of paper or put it in the notes app of your phone. What activity out of all of those, or maybe it's something different, what activity would you consider to be your hobby? So if somebody said like, what hobbies do you have? What would you say? For me, I'd say dancing. What hobby do I have? Dance is a hobby of mine. I used to do like salsa dancing specifically back then before I had my daughter. I wasn't able to get back to that after motherhood. I also moved and, just a lot of things can change. But I did go back to tap dancing. So put down what you would consider to be your hobby. Who did you enjoy speaking with? So this is a people thing. Like, who did you like talking to? Who did you like spending your time with? Who did you like conversing with? That would start to fall into your social wellness bucket when we're building that up. In what settings did you feel the most free and authentic? Was this when you were at the office? Was this when you were at a certain library or a certain like restaurant or club or in a certain activity, golfing? I don't know. So write down in what settings did you feel the most free and authentic? And what do you miss most from your pre-motherhood days? This could be an activity. This could be a feeling. One thing that a lot of mothers tell me is you miss the opportunity to be spontaneous, which we can't just get up and go anymore. I get that. As parents, we just can't get up and go. You have to prep a bag and do all these things. Actually, over the weekend, I was babysitting my cousin's son, and he's 2, almost 3. And I was like, oh, it's been a while since I had to remember to like bring a little bag with me, for just in case he needs changed, or if he needs a new pull up, like if we don't make it to the bathroom on time, all these things, which now I have more freedom and can do things. But because you can creatively combat that by when you do plan like a date night, or you do plan a vacation with just you and dad, perhaps you maybe are more spontaneous during that time, since you can't be spontaneous every single day. Write all that down. So that's your step 1. You're going to write all that down, write down all the answers. Next, are going to highlight, like literally with your little highlighter, you're going to highlight what still interests you today. Because here's the thing, the things you used to do, you may not even want to do them anymore. Motherhood changes you. It shifts things in your brain and it changes your priorities. So you cannot like a thing and still have your own identity and your own personality. You've just grown and you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's like, I don't want to spend my time at the bars until 2 a.m., even if I did have somebody to watch my kid all night, because that's just not what I want to do. There's other things I want to do. I want to do things more low key, or I want to spend my time at a concert, or I want to spend my time on a boat on a river. To just highlight the things that still interest you. Then determine how you can fit in those things that you highlighted within the time constraints you have and your energy fluctuations. So you want to pick the things that you're like, hey, I really like doing this. I really want to do this. I was kind of like known for doing this. It's cool. It's my thing. And I'm going to do this when I can and be mindful of threading it into my life. It has to be something that excites you or feels very important for you to do it tired. Because when your child wakes up in the middle of the night and they need a bottle or need their diaper change or need this, it's you're exhausted and your time is pretty limited. You still do it anyway. Why? Because you know that it's important. You know that needs to get done. And it's part of your routine. Also, when you can weave something into your routine and it just becomes a part of what you do, you are going to weave it in and make sure that it gets done. Maybe you don't do it at the same level that you did before. Like maybe you used to golf, for example. Let's say you used to golf and you used to go and do 18 holes. And now you're like, I don't have time for 18 holes. I'm going to just do 9. Or you're like, I actually don't have time for a full round of golf, but I can go for an hour to the driving range. You're going to do that because golf is a part of you. Me, I like having my nails painted. That's just something that I really like. I've always liked. I used to always go to the nail salon, get fun little designs and all this stuff. And then after COVID, I felt not cool to be in the nail salon. Like I never got back to being comfortable with that. So then I went to like nail stickers and I was buying those like Color Street nail polish strips. And then I was just going and buying fun little colors. The Instant Dry Sally Hansen nails, I was doing that just to have some fun. And I would paint like each nail a different color. Then I got an actual like gel manicure set with the UV light and all that. And now I have the soak off. So now from video, like I do my nails myself, it's just something, it's super small. It takes me 15-20 minutes to do like paint my nails and toes. But it lasts me for a couple weeks and it makes me feel good when I look down at my hands and my nails are painted. Something small. It makes me feel like me when that's the case. Makes me feel like me when I wear certain clothes. It's just little things. It makes me feel like me when I put on like a face mask and do my skincare and I'm just chilling, resting, being quiet. That makes me feel like Brittany. Not Brittany the mom, not Brittany the wife, but just Brittany the me that I know. And that's the point when you are rediscovering your identity and on the journey to do so. It's really about those quiet moments that really made you feel the most like you. Not all the big stuff. I mean, in parenting, we're not going to be able to, let's say you are a gymnast. You may not be able to get into the gym and get back to it at the same level you were before every single day for all those hours. But can you go on Saturday mornings or Thursday evenings and do like a tumble class? There might be one in your area. But first, you need to remember who you were by going through these prompts, answering these questions. Highlight the things that you really still care about. Maybe you have to mourn some of the things you don't like to do anymore, which is tough. You may have to say, oh, I had so much fun when I used to do that. And now thinking about doing that makes me throw up. And that sucks. That doesn't mean you're completely still lost and have no personality. It just means you've grown out of it. And that's fine too. We all grow out of things. It's not just because we're moms that we outgrow things. So take that time to address that and then get creative about the ways that you can weave them into your life now. Now, this is bigger than just a simple self-care routine, right? This is going to be beyond your 5-minute daily routines, which I did talk about more about 5-minute self-care activities in this season, and I'll be talking more about it next season. I talk about it most because that's what I do. It's all about simple self-care that you can commit to. But really sit with your past self. These prompts are really for you to sit with your past self, have a little conversation with her, hug her, love on her a little bit, and decide what things you're going to bring in to your today self, your present self. And then as you grow into the future, there's going to be more things that get shed away and then more things that you're going to adopt and have in your life. That's growth. So don't let motherhood be your reason for being lost. So I hope this was very, very helpful. I appreciate you being here. And until next time, I'll talk to you very, very soon. Thanks for listening to this episode. I hope you learned at least one thing you can implement into your daily routine. To connect with me, follow at BackToYouIn5 on Instagram. If you're feeling generous, share this episode with a mom you know and subscribe to the show. I appreciate your support. Remember, motherhood is a journey, not a destination. Grow through it and enjoy the view.